Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are talking season 3 of the L Word Generation Q, and I'm still flying high since our renewal news yesterday. So I am here with the first official season 3 video, because obviously we had the announcement yesterday and then all my other videos were, I was telling you guys, but obviously it wasn't official news from Showtime. So now we're officially renewed. So let's talk season 3. And I have got a lot of questions on social media and DMs and comments and everything. So I wanted to talk about the big things that people were mentioning. And then I am working on a video about the things that I would really like to see in season 3 and maybe how they could be implemented. So make sure to let me know what you want to see in season 3 down below in the comments, and I'll try and work as many of them into the video as possible. So season 3. Let's get into it. I am so happy to be saying that. And yesterday we obviously saw Deadline, Variety, a bunch of media outlets giving pretty much the same little blurb about season 3 coming back. You know, everybody is coming back. It's going to be 10 episodes like season 2, and it's going to be this year, which of course was the biggest news for me anyway, because there was that kind of, we waited so long for the announcement that it might have pushed us so far along the schedule that it might have tipped into 2023. So I'm so glad that we're getting it back this year. I mean, you guys know I really like to get down to the numbers sometimes. So yesterday I was like working out with the calendars and like how long it took them last time, and it'll be a little bit faster because of COVID. So I was trying to work out like when we would probably get the show back and like filming and stuff. So they are in pre-production now, and the writers will most likely do what they did last year, which was write half the scripts and then they start filming, and then they're writing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 while they're filming the earlier episodes. So I think the most likely case is that if the writers go back the very end of this month, the very first, bit of March, that we would be looking at them starting filming end of April, start of May. And then I think we'd most likely get the show in November. So like the slots this year that were Dexter and Yellow Jackets, I know that they're really trying to get Yellow Jackets like done and out, and that's coming this year too. So I mean, a Yellow Jackets L Word combo would be really good, and that'd be pretty, like, that would be awesome to have two really like female driven, like nearly all female cast. That would be awesome. So I'd love to see that. As we're going along, obviously we're going to be able to see a bit more like schedule wise what's going on, and of course I will keep my ear to the ground with what's happening. So cast members, who is coming back? And the short answer I think is pretty much everyone. I saw most people yesterday tweet and post on Instagram, and the couple of people that didn't, I wouldn't look too far into that, because one, like, people are just busy, and a lot of sets nowadays, they have like no phone policies. Some people in the cast, I would say, don't run their social media or don't run some of it. So I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure over the next few days we'll hear from the people we didn't. And I mean, the big question that a lot of people were asking was about Laurel Holloman. And let's just be honest, like, the show would be absolutely batshit crazy not to have her back anyway. But after that cliffhanger, like, there's no way that they can not have her back. So I really think that the show, if Laurel was available for 10 episodes, I think they would bite her hand off to give her a series regular role. But as we know, she has a super successful art career. So I just think that she's obviously got a lot on her plate. And I normally don't talk about the actress's private life, but I know she is open about this, that she doesn't live in California anymore. So she has an entire other career and she doesn't live in California. She's really doing the show and us a favor by coming back. And I really appreciate that, and I know a lot of people do, because I get a lot of questions about Tina and Laurel. So super appreciate that she is going to come back, and I would say that she is most likely coming back for probably about the same amount of episodes as season 2, about half. It could be 4, it could be 6, most likely 5, because as I said, she has a lot of other stuff going on. And although as I said, the show would love to have her back, it's probably just not feasible. And there's always these rumors going around that she wants to leave, or she doesn't, want to continue. And I just think that's ludicrous, because Laurel hasn't come back and said, I miss acting, I want to come back to acting, or do a few little things here and there. She has solely come back only for the L Word. And I mean, if you listen to any interviews with her, especially the one with Kate and Leisha, and this goes for any of the OG cast, it's so evident that they all loved making the original show up in Canada, and they had this great experience and bond. And I mean, it's obvious Laurel's coming back because of that, because of the L Word, because she's working with Jennifer, Kate and Leisha. I'd like to think a little portion is because, our little fandom is great, and yes, wild sometimes, but I think that she knows that it's a special kind of show too, and I really appreciate that. I love that she's come back, and I think that it's great, because a lot of people always worry about her leaving or about this and that, and I mean, she had the greatest get out of this situation ever, because I don't know what a good excuse is, but a great excuse is, I have an entire, amazing career as a super successful artist. Like, if she didn't want to do it, she could have said that, and that is a pretty apt justification. But she came back to the show, and she's working things out so that she can, and the show's working things out so she can. So we'll see her back in season 3. I can pretty much guarantee that. Also, a few people were asking about Jamie Clayton, because I know there were some people at the end who thought, oh, is Tess leaving? And Jamie has got a bunch of other jobs. And it's the same thing with Jennifer. It's completely possible for these guys, especially in a big ensemble show like this, it's completely possible for them to film things simultaneously. A good example of this is season 2 of Gen Q. Jennifer Beals was filming the entire book of Boba Fett, so it's completely possible they work with all their schedules this way, and this is the sort of thing they'll be working out now when they're in pre-production, working out what's happening with everyone. And over the writing of the scripts, obviously all the storylines and who needs to be where and when and all that. So they'll be figuring all of that out, don't worry. So other people returning, guest stars, Rosie O'Donnell and Vanessa Williams are the two biggest people that will be, whether they're coming back or not. And it was kind of cliffhangery, because obviously dependent what happens at the doorstep with Bet and Tina, and then obviously their significant others, Rosie, Carrie, and Pippa, Vanessa Williams. So will they be back? I mean, in the short answer, I definitely think both of them will be back. Start with Pippa. I think that it's, no matter what happens, whether Bet and Pippa go off into the sunset. I mean, obviously that if that's the case, Pippa's going to be on the show, and she has been a really popular character. So I think that they will have Vanessa Williams return. Again, I know people were worried because Vanessa was cast in the 911 show, but again, she can totally film at the same time. And I think that show is like a Grey's Anatomy. It has a typical filming schedule, so I'm pretty sure it'll be the same case with Jennifer and Law and Order, and she'll be wrapping that when production is starting on Gen Q. And either way, if Bet and Pippa, it's not gonna, well, I really, really, really hope that they're not gonna do some like enormous time skip and just have like a line wrapping up at the end of the season. But I am putting together a video right now about what I want to see in season 3, what I think should happen with the cliffhangers and starting season 3. So I'll hopefully have that out in the next couple of days. And when it comes to Rosie, I mean, it's pretty evident too that both Rosie and Vanessa Williams, they seem to get on really well with everyone. They seem to really like being on the show and like the cast. And when someone is cast like that and they kind of fit in well, where they're talking about them in interviews and stuff like that, I think that also bodes well for Vanessa Williams and Rosie coming back. And when it comes to Rosie, she also has a deal with Showtime, and she's on American Gigolo and a bunch of other stuff, and she's moved to California. Again, I know she's open about that. So I think that will heavily factor into her returning to the show. And I think it's totally plausible, even if, I don't know, Bet decides that she's bloody going to that meditation retreat again and Tina's going to work in Canada, I think it's still possible to have Carrie and Pippa on the show. But again, I'll talk more about that when we get to that video about all of the storylines. So if I had to make a guess right now as to when the show will be returning, I mean, if this is right, this is a big guess. I would probably say it would be the second week in November, and if not the beginning of November, I think it'll be like the first week of December. So that's what I'm going with for now. Obviously, when more information starts to come out, we'll be able to get a better grasp and a better kind of guess, and then of course they'll tell us. So as I said, I'm doing that video and I'll have it out in the next couple of days. On Tuesday I'll have the lesbian news out, and tomorrow, Sunday, I am having a live with Evelyn Dar, Amanda, and Chris and Jess from the L Word Online. So I would love you guys to come. It's going to be really fun. We're going to obviously talk about season 3 because it was going to be a live stream demanding that we want season 3, but now it's a season 3 celebration. So make sure that you pop by if you want to, and we're going to be doing polls and I'm going to give away some merch, and it's just going to be fun. So what better way to spend your Sunday than talking about our favorite show? So as always, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on all of my social media. I have a Patreon where we do watch parties and hang out, and I also have a merch store that has tons of L Word merch. And I have an Express VPN link if you want a little discount using a VPN to watch any of the shows that aren't available in your country. The link is down below. I have a podcast, Drinks at Dana's, which will be returning for season 3. I have a second channel where I talk about scam, cults, things like that. And the link for that is down below as well. And check out all my previous videos. As I said, I'm trying to get the lesbian news to catch on. So if you haven't checked that video out already, make sure you do. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.